Let me tell you something about working with Batman. An order from him isn't just a suggestion, it's a command. In the chaos of Gotham City, it's a line between life and death. For his partners, and especially for me, his word was law. But what happens when obeying that one crucial order means innocent people will die? For me, the very first boy wonder, the answer to that question didn't just save the day. It defined the hero I was destined to become. This is the story of how my defiance proved I was so much more than a sidekick. To really get why my choice was such a big deal, you have to understand the dynamic between me and Bruce. After my parents were killed, he took me in, seeing a painful echo of his own loss in me. He didn't just give me a roof over my head. He gave me a way to channel my grief and a strict code to live by. That code was built on discipline, strategy, and above all, obedience. In our war on crime, Batman was the general, and I was his most trusted soldier. Every single move was planned, every order backed by his years of navigating Gotham's darkest corners. To disobey was to risk everything, not just your own life, but the entire mission. I know Bruce had his doubts about my occasionally carefree attitude, but he never questioned my commitment. The rule was simple: Batman leads, Robin follows. It's what had kept us both alive. But as we all know, some rules are just begging to be broken. The moment that changed everything happened on a night when Gotham was literally on fire. Thugs working for the notorious mob boss Sal Maroni had set the streets ablaze, plunging the city into chaos. Sirens screamed, buildings groaned as they were eaten by flames, and panic ruled the night. In the middle of it all, Batman moved with the precision of a surgeon. A dark night, focused on the big picture, pulling civilian after civilian from the fire. He was a blur of controlled chaos, his mind constantly one step ahead, assessing threats and managing the disaster. In the smoke and heat, Batman was in his element, but even the world's greatest detective can miss a detail in the fog of war. And on this night, that detail was the faint sound of children crying, trapped somewhere inside the rubble of a collapsing, burning building. From my vantage point, I saw what Batman had missed: two small children, terrified and trapped by the inferno. As Batman dealt with the larger threat, my world narrowed to this one desperate moment. I started to move, but his voice, commanding, cut through the noise. "Stay back." Logically, it was the right call. The building was a death trap, ready to collapse at any second. Sending his partner in was a risk he wasn't willing to take. But for me, leaving those kids behind was a price I refused to let anyone pay. In that instant, I faced an impossible choice: obey the mentor who saved me, or trust my gut and risk it all for two strangers. That stubborn streak, the one that often frustrated Bruce, was about to become my greatest strength. Without a second's hesitation, I blew past my mentor, completely ignoring the command. I dove headfirst into the inferno, the searing heat a world away from the cold, calculated environment of the Batcave. Batman could only watch, his heart in his throat, as a section of the building exploded. Inside, I relied on the acrobatic skills from my circus days, gracefully dodging falling debris. I found the two terrified children and, in a move that was pure me, wrapped them in my own bulletproof cape, shielding them as I found a way out. This wasn't just a rescue, it was a declaration. I wasn't just following Batman's orders anymore. I was my own hero. Just as Batman began to fear the worst, a small, soot-covered figure stumbled out of the smoke and flames. It was me, exhausted but holding both children safely in my arms, and I even managed to flash my trademark upbeat smile. In that moment, I wasn't just the boy wonder anymore. I was a hero who had succeeded where my mentor hadn't, making me his equal. This was the first major rescue of my career, and I pulled it off by directly disobeying an order. It proved to Bruce, and more importantly, to me, that I had the courage and independent judgment to be a true champion for the innocent. I had what it would take to one day step out of the shadow of the Bat. This moment of defiance was a massive turning point for me. But What are some other defining moments for any of the Robins that you think are underrated? Let me know down in the comments.